The average app loses 77% of its users within the first 3 days of use. But if you're in the process of app development, don't lose hope just yet. Apps that are successful in retaining users from the very first few visits follow this one simple method. They focus on benefits-oriented onboarding. Benefits-oriented onboarding is just a fancy term for focusing on the benefits of your app, not the features. A feature is the part of your product or your service, while a benefit is the positive impact that it has on your user. So your goal is to communicate to your users in the very first few moments of them engaging with your app these three things. What does this app do? What value does it bring you as the user? And how can the user integrate the app into their everyday life? Now, I know what you might be thinking, isn't that what the app description is for? But many users skip reading the App Store description. I know I have. You download an app and you dive right in to see how it works. So your onboarding screens are a very brief presentation to help the user understand what your app does. So when using the benefits-oriented onboarding method, here are the steps that you should consider taking. 1. Share only 3 benefits of your app. Why 3? Information presented in groups of 3 tends to stick in our heads better than any other cluster of information. For example, stop, drop, and roll, and blood, sweat, and tears, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We all know those things, and we remember them from being kids. If you don't want to bore your users or slow them down, avoid overwhelming them with every benefit your app has to offer. Choose the top 3, and then apply the one slide, one concept rule. Keep each message in your onboarding screens very clear and very focused. If you include too much information on each of the steps the user needs to go through, they'll struggle to retain it and they'll forget what you're telling them. So it might lead to a poor user experience. So using one concept per screen really helps your user digest the most important bits of information. And then finally, keep it brief and offer a way out. So that's kind of the final tip. Above all, keep your onboarding brief and succinct. Focus on only providing the essentials so you don't lose your user's attention, because it's very easy to do. And on every screen, give the users the option of exiting out of the onboarding process and go straight to using your app. Simply place an X at the upper right. Oftentimes when users feel stuck in the onboarding process, they get frustrated, and so they close the app and move on to the next solution. So you don't want them to close the app, you want them to stay in yours, so give them the easy out. So as you build out your onboarding process, go to the App Store, check out a few successful apps to see what works or maybe what doesn't. In fact, we break down how the popular guided meditation app Headspace nails their onboarding process. So click the link in our description and watch it now. And remember, keeping your onboarding process short, sweet, and simple will increase user retention and satisfaction.